All right,
All right, pal. What
I'm
if,
gonna
right?
sit down, and then we're gonna talk about
Because we
what
have
if.
we have what if, and now a whole movie still
What
to
if
talk
Brian sat down?
All right, boys, what did you think of what if T'Challa became Star-Lord? Spoiler free.
Fine.
All right, I'll sum it up in a sentence. It was an improvement, and it was slightly funny.
All right, Mr.
They were
Laramie.
definitely.
Okay.
Say, are you guys ready for me to jump in?
Here it comes.
I also after watching like both of them in pretty quick succession, I definitely like this one more. I saw quite a few complaints about how they felt that Black Panther's character was a little too like perfect, like how some of like the charm of Star-Lord is he's kind of a dipshit and fucks up like multiple times, like he screws up their plan in Infinity War, that like all that stuff, like there's some realism to him in that, like he isn't kind of perfect, where T'Challa on this one was kind of like he's
Infallible
virtuous,
almost.
he can do no wrong, yeah, like he just is this sort of like not literally perfect, but which I there's some merit to that, but also it's a fucking calm down, like it's a show for children for the most part, like I don't know, like it was a 20-minute 30-minute like one-off thing. I don't think there's too much like deep diving you need to do into
It's
that
one
stuff,
of a
but
million multiverses.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, those people need to calm down a little bit, because I did like it, and I think Thanos was a nice inclusion in there. It was a little weird at first, but it grew on me more. And I like the Black Order a lot. His cronies, Proxima, Midnight, and fucking Ebony Maw, those guys. So I liked seeing them in the thing. I wish
Nebula
in
as
the
a blonde.
yeah, let's say Horny Nebula was cool.
Yeah, cha-cha.
Yeah,
That's what I think about. You guys pull me right back in.
Yeah,
Horny Blondes Nebula.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely thought it was cool, and was happy to again get a little more like Yondu. What's his name? Who's it's Jaimin Hansu, who's the guy who he meets in the beginning. That's like a big fan of him. I forget his character. He's not Ronin, is he?
No, he's Ronin's crony. He's got a name, but I didn't write it down.
Ronin's crony.
Ronan's crony.
Yeah. I forget, because he does have a name, but like I like him. They did a good job of bringing back like the Collector was cool. Little Howard the Duck action. Not to get again too ahead of ourselves, but I appreciated some of like those cameos. They did a good job, I thought.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun with the episode. I thought some of T'Challa's perfectness, as we're calling it, came off as a bit corny, and
it was, but again, I think that's Marvel's bag a little.
Yeah, but because the Guardians universe is so big and there's so many characters, it was really cool to see like where all the dominoes fell based on T'Challa being Star-Lord instead of Peter Quill.
I like him more as Star-Lord. Like I think T'Challa is a more likable character than sort of the OG Star-Lord.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what his actual name is.
Peter Quill.
Yeah, Quill. Yeah. Thank you. I don't want to have to Google it, because I definitely know.
What was really cool? And this doesn't really have to do with the plot. The incorporation of the Guardians of the Galaxy music and the Black Panther music.
Oh yeah, the combo. That was cool.
Yeah, where they go
agree.
dun 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 dun. I was like, damn, that's pretty sick.
Well, and then throwing Drax in.
Yeah,
Drax was there in the background, like.
Oh my God, Drax! Like, you want to see a picture of my family?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know how much we're going to go into the actual plot, but I liked the sort of the wink at the end with actual Peter Quill and Ego.
Yeah,
who's his dad,
maybe that'll
like
be
the Living Planet. Well, and so part of what fucks up Ego's plan in, I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, is like Star-Lord kind of being like being, or Peter Quill being Star-Lord, like fucks up his plan, because he's kind of got this like fuck the world, I do my own thing sort of personality, but like from being a Ravager and whatever. And so him coming down from space and being able to manipulate some guy who's like cleaning floors in a McDonald's, like he'll probably
Queen. I was gonna say,
Dairy Queen,
Dairy
you know.
Queen,
So like he'll probably have more agency to fucking manipulate him into kind of doing what he wants, which might make his plan like actually happen, which is bad juju for stuff.
Let's do a tight plot, real tight one.
That's how I like it.
So we are same start as Guardians 1. They're stealing that rock that ended up having an Infinity Stone in it, right? That was what was in the rock.
Yeah, because it was the Tesseract or whatever. Is that what it was? I forget.
It was
What's in the rock?
So there's the guy who's Ronan's crony, who's a big
Ronan's
fan.
crony. I think that's a good name.
Yeah, the one who's not Ronin the business, right?
No,
he ain't Ronin anything.
So yeah, he's a big fan of T'Challa. He steals from the powerful, gives to the powerless. So he's this Robin
like somebody
Hood
else we know
type character.
They make a reference, don't they?
That's who he is.
Don't they make a reference that he's like Robin Hood?
They do a couple times, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that things like that. Well, no matter what universe you're in, that shit will always like reference Robin Hood.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you mean the classic American Earth novel Robin Hood?
I wonder, like, when Robin Hood was doing it, like, were they like, oh, you're just like Timmy? Like, who was Robin Hood before?
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus was actually known for his heists.
Yeah, Jesus took from the rich and gave to the poor.
His 12 disciples.
Jesus,
it was actually like Ocean's
Robin
12.
Hood, if you will.
Jesus is 12.
Yeah.
We got Paul. We got Peter.
Christ 12.
And this all
Jesus
hangs on
says,
Judas.
Jesus says that a camel has a higher chance of passing through the eye of a needle than a rich man into the kingdom of God.
All right.
That's an OG Bible quote.
Jesus.
Jesus
All
himself.
right, Catholic schoolboy and Marty, what do you have for us?
Marty.
I'm good. On what? On the Bible?
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Bible. Give us a quick spoiler-free recap.
Spoiler-free recap of the Bible.
We all have to remember the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated, and follow the
that's
Ten
actually pretty good.
So thou shalt not be envy.
Yes.
All right.
The famous commandment.
Thou shalt not be envy.
Amen.
Don't be envying up your neighbor's things, guys.
Yeah.
Like whatever you say, Abraham.
The story of how T'Challa gets there was a bit, we'll call it flimsy. I feel like I use that word a lot, but he was just like, I want to go outside and go on adventures, and Yondu's Ravagers pick up T'Challa instead of Peter Quill, because they sense all the vibranium and think, that's the son of a god.
Or he's from like outer space, right, or something? Because the vibranium's from like a meteor. I want to say
exactly. So they pick up T'Challa, and Yondu's like, "Well, we got the wrong guy, but do you want to go on adventures?"
Yeah, that was another thing that I saw people didn't love. That they were just like, so they got the wrong kid, and they're like, "Who cares? Adventure!" Like they would, in any other situation, they would fucking dump that kid off and go get, But,
close enough.
Yeah. They even had like a thing of like, does he look like Quill to you? And they're like, well, kinda. All humans look the same. Which I'm like,
oh, that was a good line.
That was funny. So full-grown T'Challa, he is a good guy. He's convinced Thanos that there's better ways to reallocate resources than kill half the population.
Really?
Again, that was also glossed over a little bit, which I think some people were like, really? Thanos was like he was killing half the universe, and then one guy sat him down. He's like, actually, Thanos, don't do that. Yeah, hear me out. You don't have to. You can do other shit. He's like, you know what? Sounds good.
Rom communism.
Yeah. Yeah, read the Communist Manifesto. We'll have another conversation.
So
have you met my friend Karl Marx?
You would love Ayn Rand.
I want one where they pick up Karl Marx instead of anybody else, and he's like, communism.
Yeah.
Like, does this look like the right kid to you?
Yeah, give the powers of production to the people. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, our
The
boy
means of production.
Hopper, the Red Guardian, had Karl Marx tattooed on his knuckles.
He did.
All right. Well, so Drax is a bartender whose wife and daughter is still alive.
Yeah.
My wife.
Again, that's kind of nice.
Nebula and T'Challa, were they dating, or is she just very flirty?
I think there's definitely a thing there.
Yeah.
There's no way that's just like, well, also Star-Lord does have a thing where he just gets ass, like in general. Like in the first Guardians movie, there's definitely scenes of him just like giving women looks, and like, because he sleeps with doesn't he sleep with the golden faced alien,
Or
And
he,
they also have
he hits
That
on
was
her and
two.
she wants to.
Yeah. There's
She's
definitely
down,
multiple
but
scenes where like
Gamora's
he's
there.
flirting. Yeah, yes. There are multiple scenes where he's flirting like with space women, and they're all like, every one of them is all about it because he's the Star-Lord. So I think like there's an aspect of that, but her having the nickname for him makes me think they're like that's a pet name.
Mm.
You know?
Pretzel dick.
Yeah, exactly. She kept calling him Pretzel Dick, and they're like, "What do you mean? He's got a long rod." You know.
So they're getting right to
Pretzel
it.
Dick. You know the big long pretzel rod.
He's got a long rod, and it's like that's it. We just gotta let that one go by, huh?
I told you we're doing a
Oh,
tight plot and a long
desensitized.
rod.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted.
So Nebula's got a job for them. They're going to get the embers of Genesis. It could terraform ecosystems, feed billions, but they got to get it from the Collector, who is now fucking ripped.
Yes,
okay,
he's
so
huge. That part was a little strange.
Okay, so if that stuff existed anyway, why wouldn't that be the plan to make the worlds better?
I think that is a little bit of what they're talking about, though. Is like, so they have to go get
Yeah,
it
but
from the
like-
Collector because he's just kind of sitting on it. He's not doing anything with it.
Exactly, but like Thanos could have got it from the Collector, and we wouldn't have had to do all
yeah.
the shit.
Maybe Thanos
Could've just
didn't
been
know
like,
about
oh.
it.
He's like, they're like, there's this magic seed that if you plant it anywhere, it feeds everyone. And he's like, nah, let's just do genocide.
Yeah.
They
like,
actually
no,
start
but all
calling
you have to
him
do is just-
Captain Genocide because he's still
They
trying to
do.
pitch the idea.
Yeah. That bit at the end is funny of him like at the table
Yeah,
and he's like,
that's
"Yeah, but guys, genocide." Like, shut the fuck up.
It's
Thanos.
random.
Yeah.
So they head to nowhere. They're going to pretend to sell that Infinity Stone. The Black Order's the security. They run a little distraction. T'Challa gets captured on purpose, and Howard the Duck ends up leading him to the Embers.
Yeah, there was a little Ocean's 11 like double back of like plan that was revealed to be part of the real plan kind of shit, which I appreciate.
Yeah, Nebula double crossed them, but it was a double cross.
A triple cross.
Just a regular cross, then I think.
She crossed them up.
Crossception.
Crossover.
So they get the Embers. They fight the Collector. Like I said, who's ripped. It's implied he has Korg's arm. He's got a bunch of other like Avengers and other villains gear like hanging in the background.
Dude,
so
when
maybe
he busted out fucking Hela's little headdress there, I was like, oh shit. Yeah. He's got the so that's the crazy like necro sword thing that I was talking about that Gore the God Butcher gets like you don't have to get too far into it, but yeah, he gets a crazy necro sword thing.
Yeah,
You kill Thor or fight him at least.
probably kill him since I think Chris Hemsworth is done.
Yeah, I think not to spoil the new movie that's not out yet, but
I don't want to get too meta, but there's a character called the God Butcher, and Chris Hemsworth.
he's called Thor Murderer. Spoilers.
All right, so anyway, Nebula saves Thanos by terraforming nowhere. Throws a little seed right into the big guy's mouth. Is that what's the big guy's name?
It's called Obsidian or Black Dwarf or whatever. They have like a bunch of names for him, but
Yeah. And they escape
Jumbo.
and have a family reunion in Wakanda because Yondu lied about Wakanda existing
forever.
or something.
Yeah, oh no, it was he told him it was
Forever.
destroyed, right? Is what he said. And
Yeah.
they like went back and he was like, "Oh, T'Challa, it's gone." And then T'Challa was like, "You're a fucking liar." And then he was like,
But I
"Actually,
forgive you.
yeah." There was a little bit of that like glossing
Wakanda.
past like conflict a couple times where they're like, "You'd probably be angry at Thanos for trying to murder all these people, but we're gonna move on." Like,
Well,
The
when he picks
sitcom,
up the
they're like, Thanos.
when he picks up Ronan's crony, Cronin's Roni, Cronin's famous macaroni.
yeah,
He picks up macaroni from Ronan's macaroni.
Pepper Ronin.
He recruits him and he's like, well, I guess we have worse members on our team, like people who have done worse things. So I guess
cut to Thanos.
Thanos has probably taken out at least a planet.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it was the convincing him like before he actively did the snap and destroyed the universe. So he had like for sure in the context of like Infinity War and stuff had been destroying planets and killing people way before like any of that actually getting the Infinity Stones happened. So
He's like, this genocide's taking too long. I need something to make it go way faster.
I need something to just snap it away.
So
What can
I
I
wish
do?
I could just snap a do.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, what if I told you could just snap a do? And he's like, explain it to me.
So anyway, we already touched on it, but Peter Quill's been working at a Dairy Queen, and Ego shows up at the end of the episode and is like, "Hey, son, wanna be a god or something?" And the
Wanna
episode
kill
ends.
all humans?
Wanna kill all humans?
Hey, baby. Wanna kill all
Hey, baby.
humans?
All right, so
Bender Bending Rodriguez. I have a tattoo of him on my ass.
my thoughts. I'm a little worried that this might just end up being the best episode of the series.
I hope
Because
not.
these two episodes, I feel like, have been the only ones really marketed. Like they're like,
I think
oh,
that's good.
I will counter that. And
Okay.
there's one point. I don't know. Like you could be right, but there was one scene in a trailer where Captain Carter encounters Doctor Strange. So
Okay.
I'm wondering if, in some capacity, that Doctor Strange, who is a Nexus being, I'd assume,
I think
Sorcerer
he
Supreme is definitely
yeah.
a Nexus
uses
being.
his Nexus self to kind of jump around these little multiverses. So that'd be a cool thing. I don't know that for certain, but if I could see it going down that path.
I would love for, at least a couple episodes to tie in together, which we think they're going to. Because why do just Captain Carter,
for sure.
the first Avenger, if you're not going to involve her with the other Avengers,
I think Doctor Strange is in multiple episodes because there's also the episode later on where Peter Parker becomes Sorcerer Supreme. So I think
that's
like
right.
that Strange being part of it is again like leading into the multiverse of madness. Like I think this is a very intentional sort of like, look at all the crazy stuff that can happen. There might be like callbacks in the actual main like continuity movies to like some of the what if scenarios. I think at certain points.
For sure.
Same with like the Far From Home stuff.
Black, like emo get up that he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, that's what I would love that, but I don't think that's gonna happen.